time, weather, and...
Audio Jungle.
Welcome to my channel today. I truly appreciate you being here. Since I've been a silver stacker for many years now, I oddly enough have realized that without your health, a person truly has nothing, and ultimately the size of your stack means nothing. A pivotal moment in my life was when I was with my spouse of 22 years as she passed away. As she was passing away, our eyes connected, and in that instant, in that moment, I feel as if I gained a perspective of what makes life, what makes it worth living. In that moment, I fully understood what my dad said years ago to me whenever we would see a funeral procession go by. He would say, "Son, there's no such thing as a hearse with a luggage rack." I fully did not understand that statement until the moment my wife left. When she was gone from that room, I realized that so much of our life is static. And despite that static being nothing but an annoyance, we keep turning up the volume on it.
Exactly. What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. One louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
A saying I now use to fully encapsulate my feelings is that I no longer carry flags. What this means is that I no longer visit mainstream media in any way. I stopped watching the news shows, and instead I seek out certain YouTube channels and a multitude of other media. Public news and basically television shows are nothing but propaganda, and I don't want them to be relevant to my blood pressure in any way. In short, I have stepped away from the media because everything you read is bullshit. I no longer can allow my stress level to become elevated by how corrupt our government has become. I have realized that if Skittles wants to celebrate gay, black, transgender men, God bless them. Because even though I disagree, God bless them. I will no longer buy their product. It's that simple. The company that I disagree with just does not get my dollar. I do not need to get myself agitated by some so-called news article to help me form my opinion. I am a fat person. I say it out loud. And a perfect example of how Americans have become is that we have accepted being fat.
But let's get real. We know the deal. So darling, let's not tiptoe. This thing we had was not just bad, it was a shit show.
If I call someone fat, I am the one that is rude and mean and all that stuff. So I will just call myself as being the fat person. I do not like it. I hate the label. And I know that being overweight is a bad thing for someone. I know that being obese will slowly rob me of my quality of life as well as years of my life. I know all of these things, and yet I still remain overweight, as do the masses. I am still a fat person, so do not get ahead of yourself on sending me some inflammatory remarks. But be warned, even if you did, I wouldn't care. I am fat, and I no longer carry flags, because I have learned that knowledge is power. I feel this way about not carrying flags because of having gained knowledge. It is through knowledge that it has become easy for me to understand. A simple example of this is how young children should not be allowed to sexually mutilate their bodies. It is really common sense. I realize this after self-education of facts and not feelings. I also understand that funeral hearses do not have feeling compartments either. I applied this need of knowledge theory as to why I am fat. I did my research and I determined that the reason I was over 100 pounds overweight, being fat is my fault, and I wasn't holding myself accountable for it. I wasn't holding myself accountable to the realization for being overweight in the first place. I would always look in the mirror and see unhappiness, and yet the reason was always not revealed within the mirror. It was always because of my work, or the kids had to eat it. I had to teach myself what the reason for my being obese in the first place was. My father was a great influence in my life, God rest his soul, but everything he was taught in his day to do and eat to be healthy was wrong. I will not get into the food pyramid and how bad it really is for a person to follow. What I will say is that it was not until I learned what made me healthy and what made me fat is actually a concept that lives well beyond a diet, candy, and vegetables. It was not until I latched onto a program that explained to me the questions I had lingering. I tried every diet you could think of or read about. It was not until I realized that I needed to learn to eat to live and not live to eat. I got a question for you. A simple question is that how much of your life is centered around eating? Make a list of food events and non-food events that you attend, and you will be shocked by the final tally. I soon understood that I was living to eat, and no longer was I using food as something to just live my life. As my questions mounted, I learned how everything I do either adds or subtracts from the fat equation in my body. I learned that sleep and stress cannot be counted out. My sleep hygiene was a mess, and it never occurred to me that my poor sleeping habits was part of my obesity problem, a big part. How did the stress figure in? Well, I gained 30 pounds after my wife passed away. Seemingly, it was all in my belly. I mean, it was. It literally went to my belly. I hear ladies say, oh, it goes through their butt or hips. Everybody gets it somewhere. If I get fat, it goes to my belly. But once I learned that stress deposits nothing but belly fat, my jaw dropped. This knowledge was all the result of my quest for truth. It is out there. It was to learn. I realized that I had to stop placing excuses for obesity, as they are only what we say when we do not understand the reason why. I had to learn knowledge before I could move beyond being a person on a perpetual diet.
February 2nd.
A couple of weeks ago, I went to Atlanta to be around a group of people that I have not been in touch with for years. I was welcomed like the prodigal son, and my realization of health being precious was once again regained. Show me your 5 closest friends, and I will show you your future. I had to make a fairly radical change to be able to shed 15 pounds in the last 2 weeks. I'm not blowing my horn, believe me, because it could change in an instant.
Did I sleep well?
Enough said about peer pressure and excuses. Well, ultimately, I am responsible for what I eat or do not eat. It is really a choice, and I choose health over being fat.
Do you ever have deja vu?
I've been on a zillion diets, and each and every one of them failed. All diets fail ultimately, as we cannot live on a diet forever. This time, my weight loss will not only be finished to completion, but will also be permanent. I can say that this time will be different because of the knowledge I am gaining as to how all things intersect to a person's health. I now focus on drinking water for health, not weight loss. I'm now sleeping 8 hours a day, and I don't think I'm lazy. It is what I do because it is what my body physically needs. If you believe you are fine with less hours, that is great, because that is part of the flag you are carrying. If you are happy, so am I. I have lost 15.2 pounds in 2 weeks. I am settling into fat burn, as the biggest loss of weight so far has really been inflammation.
Feeling wonderful day.
When the virus struck, for obvious reasons, the first ones to go were the fatties.
Most people refer to this initial weight loss as water weight. Well, it is more accurately called inflammation. And that inflammation is what is so deadly. The constant bodily inflammation does not yield good long-term results for your health. Nobody really knows what the future holds, but by me sticking to my new daily way of living an enjoyable life, I predict the weight will now merely be a byproduct of becoming a healthier person. I had to stop seeking a diet and begin to focus on what makes me happier and then pursue it with knowledge. Hopefully this video can motivate one person to understand that the true power must be from within. Since I have understood this is my mental state and it has started to shift in a way that favors me. Knowledge is power, and it is the only thing we need to learn the habits that contribute to our well-being and overall health. It is our daily habits. Although these are the lowest performing videos I publish, I will continue to do them weekly if you are one person I can help or inspire that makes me happy. Because this weight loss thing is not easy. This weight loss or health thing is definitely not easy, but you don't have to do it alone. Semper Fidelis.
God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know the rich men, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men know the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.